The movie starts with a flashback to New Year's Eve 1999 in Switzerland. Tony Stark is at a big party in a hotel. He meets a beautiful scientist named 𝗦𝗂𝗯𝘀𝗰𝗍. She shows Tony her special research called Extremis, a formula that can help people regrow lost limbs and heal terrible injuries. She's very excited about its potential. At the same party, another scientist approaches Tony. His name is Aldrich Killian, a nerdy-looking man who walks with crutches. Killian is a fan of Stark Industries, and he runs a company called Advanced Idea Mechanics. He tells Tony, "We're working on revolutionary science projects. I want you to join my project." But Tony isn't interested. He makes fun of Killian and leaves the party with Maya instead, hurting Killian's feelings. Now the story jumps to the present day. Tony is having trouble sleeping because of what happened in New York in the Avengers battle. He keeps having panic attacks and nightmares. To feel safer, he builds dozens of new Iron Man suits, his own private army called the Iron Legion. Meanwhile, a dangerous terrorist called the Mandarin keeps attacking different places around the world. He makes scary videos claiming responsibility of all the terrorist attacks. The US government is very worried, but nobody can find him. In the next scene, we see Happy Hogan, Tony's old bodyguard, who now works as head of security at Stark Industries. He notices a suspicious man named 𝗟𝗏𝗯 acting strangely at Stark Tower. Happy follows 𝗟𝗏𝗯 to a Chinese theater where he sees 𝗟𝗏𝗯 meeting with some shady people. Then, Happy tries to go back to report everything to Tony. But 𝗟𝗏𝗯 stops him, and a fight starts between them. Suddenly, 𝗟𝗏𝗯's body starts glowing red hot, and the body of the man who was talking to 𝗟𝗏𝗯 explodes like a bomb. Happy gets badly hurt in the explosion. At the hospital, Tony sees his friend Happy covered in bandages and connected to machines. This makes Tony very angry. He goes on TV and challenges the Mandarin directly. "You want to fight me? Come get me." He even gives out his home address on live television. Back in his lab, Tony investigates the explosion that hurt Happy. He discovers it's connected to a place called Rose Hill, Tennessee. Tony tells his AI assistant Jarvis to prepare for a trip there. The next day, 𝗦𝗂𝗯𝗀𝗀𝗃 comes to visit Tony at his cliffside mansion. She wants to warn him about something important. While they're talking, suddenly, boom! Missiles come flying at Tony's house. Helicopters with machine guns appear out of nowhere, shooting everything. It's an attack by the Mandarin's men. The whole mansion gets destroyed, collapsing into the ocean below. Pepper Potts and Maya barely escape by using one of Tony's Iron Man suits. But Tony seems to disappear in the attack. Actually, Tony was smart. He secretly programmed his suit to fly away on autopilot, and he escaped through a secret tunnel. Now he's stranded somewhere with no suit, no money, and no way to contact anyone. Pepper finds a broken piece of Tony's armor with a recorded message. "Don't worry about me. I'm alive." This gives her hope. As Pepper and Maya leave the destroyed mansion, Maya explains, "I'm a botanist working for Killian. I think he might be involved with the Mandarin attacks." After escaping the attack on his mansion, Tony finds himself far from the city. His Iron Man suit is running out of power. The whole world thinks Tony Stark is dead because there's been no sign of him since the attack. While wandering, Tony meets a smart kid named Harley, who recognizes him. Harley and Tony start working on Iron Man's suit in his garage workshop. We learn that Tony's suit brought him here automatically, because he programmed it to prepare a trip to Rose Hill, Tennessee. Harley shows Tony newspapers reporting his death. The kid is a huge Iron Man fan and helps Tony restart his damaged suit. Harley tells Tony about strange explosions happening recently in town. Not from bombs, but from people who seem to have superpowers. Tony investigates and meets a soldier's mother whose son exploded. She gives Tony secret files about the explosions. Suddenly, a woman with Extremis powers attacks them, trying to take the files. This was Tony's first fight against an Extremis soldier. After a tough fight, Tony wins. With the help of secret files, Tony gets all the information about Mandarin's location and the Extremis program. Meanwhile, 𝗦𝗂𝗯𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃 tells Pepper Potts the truth about Killian and his Extremis program. But suddenly, Killian arrives, attacks Pepper, and kidnaps her. The government, failing to catch the Mandarin, sends James Rhodes, in the Iron Patriot suit, to capture him. Rhodes goes to a location but realizes it's a trap. Instead of Mandarin, he's brought to Killian. At the same time, with Harley's help, Tony makes some temporary weapons since his suit isn't fully charged. Tony tracks the Mandarin's real location in Miami, Florida. Tony sneaks into the Mandarin's hideout, fighting through guards. To his shock, he discovers the Mandarin is just an actor named 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲. Killian created this fake terrorist to hide his illegal Extremis experiments. The real villain was Killian all along. As Tony processes this, 𝗟𝗏 attacks and knocks him out. Tony wakes up captive before Killian, who explains how Extremis changed him from a disabled man into this powerful being. Killian shows Tony a hologram of Pepper. He's injected her with Extremis, and she'll either gain the Extremis powers or explode. Tony becomes furious seeing Pepper in danger. Killian explains, if Pepper's body accepts Extremis, she'll survive with powers. If not, she'll explode like the others. Killian forces Tony to help improve the Extremis formula. To make Tony cooperate, Killian has injected Pepper with Extremis. 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗀𝗀𝗀 realizes how evil Killian has become and tries to stop him, but Killian kills her for betraying him. Meanwhile, James Rhodes escapes from Killian's men. His Iron Patriot suit gets stolen, but he manages to get free. At the same time, Tony's suit finally fully charges. All the pieces fly to him, and he becomes Iron Man again. Tony and Rhodes interrogate the fake Mandarin. He reveals Killian's next target is the President of the United States. They rush to stop Killian's plan. In the next scene, we see the President's plane being attacked by 𝗟𝗏, wearing the stolen Iron Patriot armor. Everyone thinks it's Rhodes inside the suit. 𝗟𝗏 kidnaps the President and takes him to the seaport, where Killian is waiting. Tony arrives and fights 𝗟𝗏 on the plane. During the battle, the plane gets badly damaged and starts falling apart. Tony heroically saves all the passengers one by one, but can't stop the President from being taken. At the seaport, Killian talks to the Vice President on the phone. The Vice President was helping Killian because Killian promised to cure his disabled daughter with Extremis, and also because he was going to be the President after the death of the current President. Killian puts the President in Rhodes's armor and plans to burn him alive on live TV. Tony and Rhodes arrive secretly. Tony calls all of his Iron Man suits for help. It's time for the big final battle. Dozens of suits fly in as Tony fights Killian's Extremis soldiers. Explosions happen everywhere. Rhodes rescues the President while Tony goes to save Pepper. But the fire and explosions keep them apart. Pepper falls into the flames. Tony gets very angry and fights Killian with all his power. But Killian was so overpowered. Tony makes Killian wear his own Iron Man suit and blows it up. But Killian survives this explosion because of Extremis. Suddenly, Pepper appears, alive. The Extremis worked and gave her superpowers. She attacks Killian and finally kills him by overloading his Extremis powers. After the battle, Pepper asks Tony to blow up all his Iron Man suits, and he does it. Doctors remove Extremis from Pepper's body to keep her safe. Tony has a surgery to remove the shrapnel from his heart, and now he doesn't need the arc reactor anymore. He sends Harley lots of cool equipment for his workshop. In the post-credit scene, Tony is telling his whole story to Bruce Banner. But Bruce falls asleep because it's such a long story. Tony sighs, and the movie ends. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like and share the video. Thank you for watching.